Hello, welcome to the Q&A for Britney Lost Her Phone, another fun film at the San Francisco Independent Film Festival, SF Indie Fest 2025. We are very fortunate to have the producer and director here with us. Hey guys,
How's it going?
how you
Hey,
doing, Joanna? Hey, real quick, very short, just say your name and your role.
Hi, I'm Joanna Fang. I'm producer of Britney Lost Her Phone.
and I'm Vito Tribuco, and I'm the director.
Right on. Thanks for being here, guys. Congratulations on making a film and getting into our film festival.
Yay!
Thank you.
Hey, woohoo!
Francisco.
Um, uh, so, uh, So who came up with the idea? Who started it? Did the producer bring it, or did the director bring it, or how to begin?
Well, it started with my friend Alex, who's a writer, and he's just been a friend for a while, always throwing back ideas and stuff. And we had another film lined up that had was a little bit bigger, and after the pandemic came, it kind of got canceled. So we wanted to do something that was a little more low budget, that was outside, and that we could do. And
Contained.
contained.
Yeah.
And is Alex Volz, who wrote the script, is a really good writer in terms of just
So
having
good.
a few people doing stuff within a contained area outside. And yeah, he
Yeah.
just
Well, this was going to be a question for later. It's an outdoor location. It's the cabin wagon,
Mhm.
pioneer thing. So that was in the script, and that was deliberate to go and make a kind of a doable, quick, lower budget
Yeah,
indie film.
definitely. I mean, we actually had to take some stuff out. I mean, there were fires and little things, gun shooting, and we had to kind of trim it down some. But yeah, it was
Well,
definitely deliberate.
the violence is a challenge, if you will. I mean, that you got me on some of those gruesome shots. And this isn't a spoiler because people have watched the movie, but the self-stabbing in the eyeball thing was that was effective. That was well done. It was believable.
Well,
That's
it's good editing, I think, too.
I like
Um,
Alex really lets the writing kind of drive it. With limited resources, his writing really carries it, which I think is
so that
great.
was your intention, though, from the beginning. Let's make let's write and produce a film that's doable because we want to make a movie. We love making movies.
Yeah, we wanted to make it not really a Western, kind of like a comedy Western in a way. And that was the first note that was given. Let's do some type of outdoor Western. And Alex is one of those guys who just has an idea right away. He can write fast. And probably within a week or two of it, I think we were already in
Wow.
deep in pre-production, getting it ready to go.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
One, because a very imaginative, quirky, fun, funny little film. But just the dialogue. Some of the lines are so funny. I got many quotes here. I'll bring some up later. But the writing, the funny dialogue, the funny lines are what just kept making me go along. As well as it being kind of just an imaginative idea. So this was Alex.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
But
just taking the old Twilight Zone thing where he's just like something from the past, something recent, put them together, but make it funny.
and also another ingredient was let's do a Western. Why was
Yeah, that's
Western?
really, yeah, I really wanted to do some type of
So you brought that
comedy,
ingredient
offbeat
because you
Western.
wanted to do a Western.
Oh yeah, he's a big Western fan right here for
Yeah.
sure.
Well,
John Wayne, the whole thing.
which makes sense with the quote at the beginning of the film.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And forgive me for not remembering it exactly. I know I took some screenshots, but basically it ends up with John Ford's quote,
Right. It
right?
was a play on the famous John Ford quote where,
When in doubt, make a
yeah,
Western.
Yeah,
love,
when in doubt,
love
make a
that.
Western, right? Yeah, that's great. That's great. And so then getting to location, is it near Palm Springs, near
No, it
LA?
was actually more in Los Angeles. It's pretty much Santa Clarita, Agua Dulce area, which is a lot of old westerns were filmed there. And
Oh,
yeah, so we rented that and just camped out. Not really camped out, but we're there for
right.
a while and
If
filming.
you've ever seen the movie Nope, takes
Yeah, yeah,
place
yeah, yeah.
in
I
the
saw it.
Aqua movement. They're real. Not that I don't know if that one is, but there's a lot up there. So we got our little movie ranch up there and shot up there, which is fun.
All
Yeah,
right.
great location.
Yeah, yeah. So then that was kind of convenient to get the production done near you guys. So that's how you came up with the kind of the the spark, the initiation, and then how'd you come up with the title? Like, so it's kind of funny. You gotta. People probably say this. I think of Britney Spears right away.
Oh, definitely. And what happened was so I'll say this. So in the original draft, it was actually called The Promised Land. That was the name of
It makes
the first
sense.
draft of the script. But
Yeah.
there's like 10 movies called Promised Land. So we
Yeah.
were like, we need to change the title. And it was always Siri, not Britney. We were like, hey Siri. But at the time, I don't think you could really put Apple products in movies. There was something to that. So we were like, oh, we got to change it from Siri to something else. And then I think in like one conversation, we were like, let's
Mhm.
it'll be Britney. And the movie got changed to Britney Lost Her Phone.
Cool. Well, I don't think there's a movie with that title. Or
Yeah,
now
I
that,
think we're good on that one.
yeah, yeah. I think you got the first to get that one. Really
Joking about
funny.
how funny it would have been if like Britney Spears did the voiceover.
Yeah, right. But actually, it would have been fine. It's almost great that it isn't. So it makes the audience member wonder, is that Britney's phone? Their imagination starts to kick in. Where did
Sure.
this phone
Yeah.
come from? Um, uh,
That's
by the
funny.
way, is this iPhone 16? Does the new iPhone do this? Does it time travel or something with it?
Well, apparently the battery lasts forever. So.
Yeah. You know what? And so kudos to you guys, because of course, I'm sure it comes up. It came up with me. Yeah, but battery power. Yeah, and then it didn't matter because the acting was so engaging and the dialogue was so witty that I'll let it go. Disbelief. I was able to let go and make believe.
Yeah, we almost tried to cover that, like battery power, no Wi-Fi. We almost in the first draft we're going to mention that, but then we're like, you know what? Right, if we can, that would be a waste of time. Let's keep it just with the act.
Yeah,
It's not the
yeah. It would
point.
have took your script in a whole different place, right?
Yeah, we don't have to explain everything.
Um, yeah. So, compliments to your filmmaking that, I was willing to let it go. They say because all movies are really far-fetched, right? If you think about it.
Right.
So
This is
well
really
done.
far-fetched, so.
Uh, yeah. So did you have fun making it?
Oh yeah, always. I mean, the schedule was really tight, so I'd be lying if I told you I had the greatest time ever. I mean, it's really stressful trying to get so much done in like less than 10 days. So
10 days.
it was 9 days actually. Yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, 9 days. We just kind of, I mean, crazy, crazy, like boot camp filming. So it was fun. It was really fun. The actors made it fun, but it was definitely hard, actually. Yeah.
And that's also
So
the fun of it too, in a sense. Just
Mhm.
kind of like just drill in 10 days and 9 days and let's just do this.
yeah, and the whole cast and crew probably were like, "Oh, that's nice. It's a small chunk of time. I can do that, right?"
Yeah, and I mean, you really have to gel together pretty quickly. You don't get like a week to get to know each other. I mean, everyone after the first day is pretty much kind of the bond starts pretty
Although
quickly.
one of our actors did camp out overnight. He just
Yeah.
wanted to. So like he pitched a tent and just camped,
Fun. Yeah.
overnight.
Method acting really
Enjoyed
got
the
Yeah.
into
stars,
Real outdoorsman. Yeah.
it was great.
Um, but what about, I mean, that's a intense script for actors to memorize. Did you have rehearsal? How long was pre-production?
We did a lot of rehearsals actually, but I will say Ben Kaufman, who played Jeb, he came in 2 days before we filmed because the actor playing that part got replaced, or I don't know if he dropped out. I mean, he left, and then, well, yeah, no, there's a whole story behind that. But he
Uh-huh.
left, the original actor, and then Ben Kaufman, who played Jeb,
So good.
who was a friend of Jessica Sonneborn, who played Maggie. So we were just going through our friends who had mustaches, and he still had a big, thick mustache. So we called him, asked him to do it. And his first reaction was like, there's so much dialogue, but he wanted to do it and he got it down. And I love him in it.
Wow.
So it worked out.
Yeah, as other people were doing their scenes, he was still going back, memorizing the new, so he was working throughout, it got creative and made it work, but he was so good in it.
Wow, yeah, impressive. Well done. Yeah, talk about casting. I'd like to hear that story more, but maybe we don't have time to find out what the you
All
know
good.
the drama behind that was. But how'd you find your cast?
Well, no, I mean, when we got the script, it was like basically there was the main four, and so
But
Luke,
did you have the script and then you went? Because some filmmakers
yes,
write
yeah, no, we had the script first.
and then
We
you
had
did
the
you
script
cast?
first, and then first person I cast was Vince Cusimano, who was Luke. So he was the first person cast, and then the original Jeb, who ended up leaving because he didn't want to take a COVID test. That's what happened.
Oh, wow, yeah, yeah. So you filmed
So he
during
was
COVID. Yeah,
Yeah,
during
we shot
pandemic.
we shot in
Yeah.
March of 2021. And so, we're still, still doing all the testing and stuff. And Jessica, who is Maggie, we've done like a couple movies in the past together. So I've known her for over 10 years. And um, and Hillary, who played the mama, is a friend of Jessica. So everyone kind of knew somebody, worked together in the past. And that was pretty much how we filmed it. And everyone kind of came from somebody after that.
Which you kind of
So,
have to,
good.
because in the time that it was, during the 2021,
Yeah.
you didn't know who was okay with what. So we just wanted a tight circle of people that
Yeah,
were
sure, of course. Yeah, I mean, and you want that in filmmaking in general. People are on board for the project,
absolutely,
and like the project's almost first before their ego, right?
Hmm.
Um,
absolutely.
so yeah, it looks like you got not lucky, but you got a good cast and crew.
No, we got lucky on that. You're right. I mean, whenever you don't have much time or money and you don't have a lot of pre-production time, you really do get what you get when it comes to the cast. So we got lucky there. And there were days where they had to memorize like 15 pages before lunch, and because we had to go fast, and they did
Well,
it. So
yeah, yeah, their performances are awesome, but they also didn't give you any pushback, if you will, on like this is so silly, this is ridiculous. They were on board with all
they
right.
were on
They
board the whole
loved
time.
it. They
Yeah,
loved the
yeah.
script. I loved it the first time I read it. I think they all
Yeah.
got the same response.
Well, because yeah, Joanna, it's like, on paper could be different than the way I mean, because it could be something completely different. I mean, these lines, maybe not these ones would be difficult, but I just want to listen to music. Why? You got a piano? No, I got Spotify. I mean, I just and then you're using a phone. There's this one where I think is it Luke? He goes, it's called zooming out. What's that? It's called zooming out. It's just you know. If you don't deliver it right, you don't get the right cast.
Yeah.
It
Exactly.
doesn't. It falls flat.
Absolutely. And kudos to them for that one day where, so the weather wasn't great. And then on Saturday, this one day, the sun had come out, and there's an airport by us. So everyone was taking out their private planes that one Saturday in that tiny little airport. The poor cast and crew, and of course we were doing scenes where all of them are in the scene. And so we had to redo this one take, like, I don't know,
It was like
20,
snow, it was like 60 sometimes.
Oh God.
because the airplane, just every time we started shooting, that airplane flew over and
Oh no.
so
Well,
they
luckily you
were
weren't in like a restaurant that you have reserved for a limited time. You're outdoors, right? Um, yeah, but the script, the dialogue, it comes across on the surface, spoof like silly like comedy, of course. But then, if you want to like get a little deeper and pontificate, there's some current themes, heavy themes in there, like how technology's taken over, or it's brainwashing us. Do you guys think about that stuff? Did you think about that at all when making this? Just the role of technology in
I mean, we talked about it a lot, but not, I mean, I don't think it was, I mean, usually during the rehearsals, we talked probably more about that. Once we were filming it was really just trying to get the comedy down and everything like that.
So speak to that. Then, okay, yeah, we have this great cast. You casted well, great words. Talk about your directing, like, where you're hands on, hands off. To say, hey, no, that's, I don't know. How did you
I
get these
don't think
guys?
too hands-on. I mean, once they start, maybe at the very beginning to get to get everyone in sync and going. But once we're kind of rocking, again, we only have 9 days to film a very dialogue heavy movie. I think once they kind of got a little bit of ownership of the character and started gelling with each other, it just started coming off,
Right.
definitely. It was
yeah,
actually harder for the people who came very, Jesus, the guy on the horse, it was a little bit harder for him because he was only there for a couple of days. He didn't get to be with
Right.
everybody every day. And
Yeah.
that was those were probably more times directing the actors than, when the group is together.
and also riding the horse for him
The
too.
horse, yeah,
Well,
that's a whole other story. The horses. We have two
you
days of
get,
the horses, only one day of the horses working because they're shitting or something on day one. I don't know what they were doing, but poor Jesus has to he was talking about when you do like bigger westerns, these guys have like a week with the horse to get to know it and do all that
sure.
stuff. And he
Cowboy
got,
camp, right? For
yeah,
Yellowstone. Yeah.
yeah, right. They
Yeah.
really get their time, and he got like 15 minutes with the horse, and he's and
Wow.
he's riding and stuff. So he was great. I loved, yeah, I loved it.
Just curious, how challenging was working with the horses, with animals? I mean, you kind of talked about, but like,
Harder
did
for the
it,
actors than for us, definitely.
okay,
I mean, it was great shooting them. I mean, they're so cinematic and everything, but the guy who the horses and showing the actors how every that was probably a little more difficult for them. There was a part where I don't know if you remember where Luke shows up with the dead animal on top they were going to eat when he
yeah,
killed.
sure.
So that
Whatever
was
the long term that he learned
yeah,
on
yeah, whatever
the,
it's called, right?
which
That
is
the horse
funny.
is kind of acting up a little bit, and if you watch it again, like Mama's trying to control the horse because it was just getting, but we only had one crack at it. So if we didn't
Hmm.
get it there, we were gonna have to cut it out.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that was the tough part.
What was a challenge or two? What were some other challenges besides, you know?
The clouds changing because we had we had the proper silk for for the outside shots, but we were going so fast. We were very there were days we were real limited on crew, so we had to keep going fast. And there is a scene where Jesus is addressing the family. It's like 10 minutes of talking. And we had to film that all pretty quickly at one moment. And the sun clouds are changing behind them constantly as he's talking. And that was hard to edit.
There were
Yeah,
also power lines
Power
in certain
lines,
certain
God,
scenes, and
yeah.
planes going over.
it's an actual ranch, and they actually had real cattle there, which was really cool because we're like, oh, this
Yeah.
makes it kind of look natural that they just float in and out. But then there's continuity, and also in the time period what we were going for, I guess there weren't technically
And
cows
we wanted them to be
there,
starving too. We didn't want
so
full.
Right, right, right. Yeah, a little bit of modernity that just kind of takes you out of the continuity or the
yeah.
1802 time period.
And you can't just say, "Can you please move?" You know.
Right, right.
Um,
Yeah.
and then it was
Um,
really funny, like they poop overnight,
Oh
or
yeah.
just like they poop whenever they feel like it. And I guess like one night we left an apple box out, and like there was cow dung on the.
oh
Destroyed.
shit. Oh
Destroyed.
man, that's not good. Speaking of this time period, 1802. I mean, I think I know the answer, but why 1802?
So that was actually we changed it a couple times during the writing, but we wanted this to be the first settlers out of everybody. It's the very first group to ever come over, even before
Right.
big.
Before the gold miners
Yeah,
or
right. So that was kind of the idea of it to be the first.
I see. And the one of the parameters was Western, so yeah, it makes sense. Cool. That's very cool. What do you think you want audiences to take away from this film?
To me,
Some deep meaning, or
no, no,
pure
not at all. To me,
entertainment?
it's a comedy, and as long as you're laughing, I'm happy with
Because
that.
you have that type of film where when I watched it and like, oh, how do I approach the Q&A? It's like, God, there's some you can some cerebral person could take this a little bit deeper and go like, hey, technology impacting humanity, who's more I don't know, evil, what's going on, or just
A couple people in the cast that I thought were looking at it that way a little bit deeper, but then the majority of everybody else, including me, were looking at it more on the comedy side. And
yeah. I
Yeah, for
think
me,
I was able to go there, think a little bit more profoundly by relaxing a little bit and just going with the laughs, and then, it was
yeah.
enjoyable that way.
Yeah.
yeah,
I like movies like Toy Story, right? Where it's like there's a kid can watch it, but then there's like deep undertones to it. So I just really want the audience to laugh and have a good time. But some people really read into it. And we've screened this for audiences that had like a lot of deep, profound, like even like Christian, you
Yeah,
know,
right. I'm not even
feelings.
going towards religion because I don't know much about
Yeah.
it. Okay.
yeah, and that blows me away because I'm not religious at all. So people will
Okay.
tell me like, "Oh, there's a deep, religious theme," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay." That's Alex, though. He sneaks that in.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
good
I
at
have
that.
those questions here, but it's like I don't know religion, so but yeah,
I
like you.
don't either.
And even that dialogue, well written, placed
Yeah.
perfectly, smoothly. The actors delivered. You know,
And yeah, I think this one actually calls for it. This movie did because there is something very,
it totally
godlike about the
works.
phone. So
Yeah, yeah, right. It totally works. Totally works.
It's a
Um,
false prophet they're worshiping, in
mhm.
a sense.
yeah, right, right. There's another kind of metaphor, deeper.
Yeah, and we wanted to show the apple symbol, the bite of the apple being taken out, but we had to cut that out because we didn't want to show any apple products.
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
Literally Apple
Yeah.
products.
What was your the opposite of challenge? What was your one of your highlights? What was like one of your favorite moments, or just like, yeah, we got it, or
So I always think this is awful to say, but I think it was really funny. A funny day of
Mm.
filming was
yeah.
the guy who we rented the location from. He's an old Western actor, and he loves all this stuff. And he's one who rented us the wagon, the guns, everything that was Old West kind of comes from him. So he came and showed up maybe 2 or 3 times while we were filming. So the scenes where Jeb would go up with the phone and like the masturbation scenes,
Huh.
we filmed all of those at the same time. And I mean, he had to do it one after another. We actually cut one of them out, so we did so many of those. And
Wait,
this,
wait, wait, wait. Takes?
I
How
think there
many
were
takes did it
five.
take to get the
We cut
jerking
one
off
out.
scene?
There was a couple times he went up and we cut out because it was just too much.
Was the actor playing Jeb just miss not
He
delivering?
was worn out. I'm telling you, he was. But
Anyways,
the
I
guy
cut
who
you
owned the
off.
property came one time and he's sitting there watching us and he knows we're filming a Western, I guess, there. And the time he shows up, it's literally Jeb with his back turned to him, doing the
Oh
masturbation.
my goodness. That's
I love
amazing.
that day, actually.
Yeah, that's fun.
There's a lot of fun things. Like I got a kick out of this. We didn't end up using this shot. It wasn't right for it. But Craig like really wanted to do this shot. He's a cinematographer.
Mhm.
He wanted to do this shot where we pretended like they were riding through trees. So, so he's like kind of shaking the wagon, and he just grabbed a random branch and just like walked past them and like brushed their
I think we
faces.
did use that.
Did you use that?
Yeah, yeah, we
Oh, okay.
did.
Okay. It was just really funny watching that happen. Like there's like,
Yeah, yeah.
and he just
Movie
brushed their
magic.
faces with
Yeah.
branches.
Wow.
Yeah, there's all kinds of little like continuity things in it. For example, with the horses, when we first brought the horses out, he had the leather strap. So when they were on the wagon, they were riding with the horses. But these haven't been open in probably like 30 years. So everything was just breaking. So if you're watching it, the close up of the horses, they have these leather straps on their faces. And then when it cuts to Jeb and Luke, they're holding like a piece of string and they're like trying to, control the horses. So
That's
And that
funny.
tombstone was, I mean, the wagon was in Tombstone, right?
the movie Tombstone, because
Oh,
the actor was in Tombstone,
Oh,
and so a
oh,
lot of the
okay.
props from the movie he keeps everything. So the wagon in our movie is the same wagon that Sam Elliott rides, his
oh,
family in Tombstone,
cool.
which is another
Cool.
reason we rented it actually.
And forgive me for not knowing. What have you guys made feature films before?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, because
yeah.
sometimes we get first-time feature filmmakers. They made shorts, but definitely your first Western with.
This is the first on most of my past has been a lot of like horror and stuff like that. This is really the first time like
Ah,
really in a whole other genre, and I love it.
I can see that. Kind of seeping its way into this film, the horror and
Yeah, no, yeah, it does come in a
kills.
little bit.
Yeah,
But it's always been comedy something. I always like comedy the most. So
yeah. Well, you made a funny film here, and Brittany lost her phone. Uh, Thank you for doing it. It takes a little bit of courage to just make a movie, as much as a crazy film like this, and imagine a film like this. I mean, I might be the type of filmmaker if wrote this, be like, no, this is too far fetched, too crazy. I don't want to take the chance. So good for you. Good
oh
for you
man, never,
guys.
never too far fetched.
Who, who, who was kind of like the one? Were you guys all together as a unit, kind of driving forward, or was there Joanna? Did you have to corral and say, "Hey, keep your eye on the ball. Let's get to the finish line," or 10 days is short, so
Yeah, I think we were all just kind of stretched so thin. So everyone was just running around. Everyone has different dietary restrictions. I mean, just we didn't have any PAs.
dietary restrictions. Yeah,
Yeah, it's always
the
something.
producer cuts down. Oh my
In
God.
general, I mean, me personally, I work with a lot of quick schedules. So, I mean, no, I think everyone knew going in. We're usually very upfront to everybody. This is what we're doing. These are the amount of days. This is how long each day is going to be. These are going to be the hard days. This is the easy stuff. So everyone knew going in. So I don't think we really had any pushback on. Everyone was pretty much on board every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we had a really good group.
And it seems like, yeah, of course, your experience on making the other feature films definitely aided you in being so lean and mean and quick on this one.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
So what's next?
Well, I mean, she's doing like 1,000 different movies.
Joanna, so you're producing full time. That's your profession.
Correct. I mean, I would like it to be.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, I do other things like production management
Sure,
and stuff
sure.
like that.
Yeah.
We actually did a cute little short that's a 16 millimeter film,
Wow.
and David Lynch just passed, and it was kind of our little homage to kind of like an Eraserhead feel that's just kind of weird and different. Um,
And
so
are you
that's
going to start submitting at the film festivals?
Mhm.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
cool.
and
Submit to our short film festival.
will absolutely, absolutely will.
And how
Yeah,
about,
we're always just filming, it's something. Yeah,
yeah,
always, always.
good. Yeah, right on. Good for you. Well, what's next for you? Are you the short film or are you doing a,
I mean, like, we're always trying to have like a few projects going.
yeah.
We're actually just started getting a documentary we've been doing,
Oh,
and hopefully, I'm hoping in April to be filming another feature. Fingers crossed, and yeah, just trying to stay busy.
and please do because your friendship or relationship stayed intact after making this film. So that bodes
Yes,
well for future
Right,
projects.
that's a good omen, right?
yes,
Yes. So well
definitely.
done. So we got to wrap it up. Anything you guys want to add? And then we'll just close off here.
I just appreciate it. Thanks, for taking our movie in. It's
Yeah. Well
huge
deserving.
thrill.
Well
Yeah, I can't
deserving.
wait to see it up on the big screen.
Yeah, right. I know that's the best way in front of an audience. Well, hey, you two, thank you so much for, as I said, not only submitting to our film festival and getting in, but making the movie. Well done.
Thank
Congratulations.
Thank
you.
And
you.
And you've
yeah,
been
let's
amazing as well.
yeah, keep making movies.
Thank
Will
you.
do. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. That was another Q&A for the 2025 San Francisco Independent Film Festival. See you more at the festival at sfndfest.com. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
And I shrunk my screen.